Hi, I'm Amy from Blue Steel Equestrian, and for our Ride of the Week episode today, we have Layne. Hello.
Hi, Amy.
How are you?
Good, and you?
Good, thank you. Thank you for joining us in this freezing cold weather. We are very excited to have you feature as our instructor.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be here as well, but it is beyond freezing.
We need flippers today.
Definitely.
Layne, tell me a little bit about you as a horse person. When did you start riding? Has it always been something that you've done? Has it always been part of your life?
So I started riding when I was about 7. I begged my parents constantly. There was ponies up the road from where I stayed, and that is where the bug bit. And I've basically been involved with horses ever since. I was very lucky to be afforded the opportunity to ride ponies and horses for people because my folks couldn't afford one for me. So that's basically where it all started, and then I decided that I wanted to work with horses. So I didn't actually know I was going to do instructing, but I wanted to work with horses. So I was afforded the opportunity to work for Gregory, the late Gregory Hall in East London at the Ebb and Flow stables there. I worked for Greg for a while, and then I moved through to Port Elizabeth where I worked for Kirsten Roerich at Crestview Stables. I was really, really lucky at her place where she actually bought a tack shop and riding school so that I could learn.
Amazing.
It was amazing. So I then worked with them for quite a while, and that's when I started doing my instructors, because then I'd actually started teaching and decided that I actually really enjoyed that.
Sure. So there's quite a history there.
There is. So that's how I ended up back in PE, which I've now stayed.
Yes.
But yeah, so I didn't actually start off knowing that I wanted to be an instructor. It was more just work with horses, and so it evolved.
As an instructor, what would you say is your biggest challenge? It doesn't have to be a negative challenge. It can be like a positive challenge and things you can work on with yourself as an instructor or with your clients.
So for me, I would say the fact that you're dealing with a live-brained animal, a live-brained human, and I might have a lesson plan doing X for this week, and then I get there and maybe the horse is having an off day, the rider's having an off day, and you have to quickly concoct something on the spot.
Think on the spot and
be able to adapt what you were trying to aim at, be able to adapt it quickly, easily, confidently, to go with the situation at hand right there and then.
Yeah.
So that was something that I had to learn to do, when I was younger, but now it's sort of second nature. I don't have an issue with that.
You don't actually have to really think about it. It sort of is what it is. And sometimes, I know when I was teaching, it's like you have this whole great lesson planned and it just takes a 180-degree turn and it goes in the complete opposite direction. And then at the end of the lesson, you're like, wow, that was actually a good lesson, but it really wasn't what I'd planned.
Definitely. Yeah, I would say that was probably one of the biggest challenges.
And it makes sense because, you are dealing with an animal that you are working with and a human as well, which you're working with, and especially the younger kiddies when they are also going through all their changes. They're growing up stages. It's not easy.
Definitely, yeah.
You don't only do teaching. Tell me a little bit, or tell us a little bit about what all you do.
So originally, as I said, I didn't actually know I wanted to do instructing, so I actually started out with a game plan of having a yard and maybe being a yard manager, liveries, etc. And then while working for Georgia and Kirsten, I, along with the riding school, lunged quite a lot of the ponies and horses coming in, just check them out. So I actually started lunging quite a lot. I then realized that there was a great benefit from correct lunging and how you can even incorporate things like pole work. So from that, a little bit of rehab works also sort of rolling through digress from that as well. And then I decided to get into a bit of judging. So I did my showing judging. So judged a few showing sort of shows. So obviously all your five within the showing. And then Then I got a bit bored again. So I've actually recently got into bit fitting. So for the last sort of 3 to 4 years, I've been doing a lot of that. And that definitely keeps you on your toes. We're always learning. We're always, new information's coming in, just mind-blowing stuff. So that's been my sort of latest venture.
I'm going to pause you there, just so everybody knows. I have chatted to Layne, and we are going to do another whole feature on bit fitting. So stay tuned for that and keep an eye out, because I think that's going to be a very interesting one.
Oh, goodness. So I'd say my latest thing has been the bitting. I also did dabble a little bit out of the horses with nutrition.
Okay.
And a little bit in the veterinary field. I also repped for veterinary companies. I worked at a veterinary practice, so I've had basically animals in my background my whole life, or since I'm matriculated. But yeah, so at the moment, it's a little bit of everything, whatever's needed. Honestly, at the moment, I have a horse I'm backing, I have horses I'm schooling, I have people I'm teaching, obviously the bit fitting.
This is boring, tired. This is boring, making me so tired, this interview, hey?
Hey, Mo's being very cooperative. So yeah.
Awesome. You got a full plate.
Definitely. Juggling all
keeping
the time.
Keeping it interesting.
Definitely.
What is your favorite exercise? So I know many instructors have like a basic thing that they fall back onto. Do you have one, or is it more like a variety of things?
Okay, so on an average day, I might have a flat work lesson in the morning, and then I might do a schooling session on a client's horse, and then I might teach a jumping lesson later. So things are always changing. I try to use a general exercise for that week, but I would say for me, my fallback, whether I'm lunging, rehabbing, flat working, schooling, jumping, is always pole work. Okay. That's my basis of everything. All my horses do pole work. It doesn't matter, even if they're happy hackers and I literally exercise them once a week for a client who can only ride on a Saturday or Sunday, that horse will do poles.
All right.
So for me, it's got to be...
And is it just like trotting poles, walking poles?
I have an
is it just a whole
diary of... I literally have a book of just pole work. And I still, with my eyes, I still, off the internet, I love pole work. It's
amazing. And pole work is very important. It's very important for strength and...
And especially, I've got riders who are maybe a little bit nervous of actually jumping, but you also want to keep the horse's brain entertained. Yes. Then for me, again, it's an absolute winner. Kids learning on the lead rein can walk over a pole. Yeah. You can't go wrong with pole work. For me, it's the key thing. It's my winner, definitely.
Layne?
Amy?
So, you do quite a lot of things. What advice can you give to people that are watching and listening, just so that they could think about it and take home, in your opinion? Because you do see quite a lot in a day. You don't just rock up and teach or just rock up and ride.
Okay, so for me, on the riding side of things, I would say the most important for me is to invest in a quality helmet. You can't replace your head.
Yeah.
And then on the riding side of things, I see a lot of riders when I've been called in to, help with the naughty horse, which is generally actually a rider issue. I would say 99% of the time it's a rider issue.
For sure.
They've missed out a building block. So I always tell people that if you look at the alphabet like A, B, C, D, you don't go AD, you have to go ABC. And very often, if we go back to, your method of training, whatever you follow, the general basics are the basics. So, so they've missed something out, and they're trying to, for example, canter, but they haven't learned to walk yet. So that's 9 times out of 10 what I see as an issue. And then
walk before you run.
Just go back to the basic and keep it simple. And 9 times out of 10, you'll fix the problem. And then lastly, just finding somebody that works for you and your horse. Just because one person is good at X with that person doesn't mean it's going to be the best for you and your... So there are loads of coaches and trainers around, and I believe there's enough knowledge out there to be able to help you and your horse, depending on what you need, and you just need to find the person that works for you.
For sure. And it is a tricky one, and it's something to think about.
Definitely.
Everybody's different. Every horse is different.
Correct.
So, yeah. Well, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
And that's really great advice. I think everybody can have a thought about that. And
buying new helmets, shop at Blue Steel.
There we go.
And in this lovely weather, absolutely have to have a Blue Steel foil hood.
Definitely. It is very cold out there, so I hope everybody is snug as a bug in their rug. I'm not going to lie. I'm quite jealous of my horses. I think they're warmer than me sometimes.
Definitely. This is hectic.
It is quite wild out there. Layne, before you freeze to death,
It's so cold.
what is your favorite Blue Steel product?
So all the Blue Steel products are fantastic, but for me, the absolute outright winner would be the full hoods and the no turn over each boots. I've had fantastic success with those over the years. In fact, there are still full hoods going that I had in the riding school at Crestview Stables, which is now over 10 years ago. There are still full hoods there going from that original shipment. So I think you cannot get better than that. That is honestly fantastic use.
Layne, thank you so much for joining us. It has been a lot of fun. We've had a good few laughs. It's been awesome, and I really hope that everybody's enjoying the instructor part of our ride of the week. I think it's very interesting, and it's something different, and yeah, it's cool. It's really cool.
Definitely is. Thank you for having me, Ams.
My pleasure.
I really think this is a fantastic initiative that you guys are doing. It's very educational. Love the videos.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm feeling very honoured.
And it's not the last time you're going to see Layne, because we still have our bit fitting to do. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the little gold bell to send you notifications when we upload videos. And also, don't forget to go and like our Facebook and Instagram page if you haven't already done so. And we have our online store, which is at www.blue-steel.co.za.